Hey everybody, Cartoon Daily One here. Hope you're all doing well and having a good week. And a good day and good past few days, all that good stuff. So, hey, I'm finally doing it. I decided, you know what? I'm going to face my fears and show you all one of my sketchbooks. And so this is one of what I hope should be many tours of sketchbooks. So for my first sketchbook tour, I thought I would show you all this one. This is a sketchbook that I've used quite a bit. And I really like this kind of this spiral notebook thing. Marraman sketchbook that I bought from Kunukanaya in Richardson, Texas. Wait, is it Richardson or is it Carrollton? I said Richardson, but I think it's actually in Carrollton, to be perfectly honest. But anyway, I bought it from Kunukanaya and I bought it from Richardson, and it's really good Japanese paper. So this is one of my drawings. This is a picture of Walter from my comic strip By and By, and I draw him a lot. And Walter is 11 years old. He is a black kid on the autism spectrum, loosely based off of my childhood. And I've been working on By and By for a really long time. And so, Walter, and of course, his friends in the background. And I thought it'd be kind of cool to, just kind of do something a little different. I was trying to do kind of like a almost poster type situation, where it's like different friends give you different perspectives By and By. And then that's, me. So I did that sketch. Usually when I'm in here in this sketchbook, I'm always just trying to come up with different ideas and different concepts for, my characters and for any other random characters that I want to draw later. Sometimes I find myself just randomly doodling. But in my creating of comics, I wanted to create kind of a wake up sequence and that kind of thing. Walter and of course his friend, Dylan. Then I also try to study. I actually bought a book a while back and studied page 63 of this book on how to draw chibis. And so that was my attempt at trying to do a bit of chibi art. And, that's my continued work on that. I'm really good at drawing guys, but I'm terrible at drawing girls. So I'm still trying to learn how to draw girls and draw women as I try to, build my, skills as an artist. And then I like to sometimes use certain pages for testing ink pens and seeing how ink pens, mechanical pencils feel, that kind of thing. And then this is me just kind of doing other separate doodles, as I just create randomly. This here, that's one thing about this particular sketchbook. You can see through to the other pages a little bit, but I still love the texture and the quality of the paper. But when you raise it a little bit, you can kind of see I did a drawing of what would be a park with water going through and things like that. And there's lights in those kind of lights that are street lights in the park. And I did this. I don't remember what particular ink pen I used or what particular marker or anything like that I used when I drew this random character from my comic. Walter floating in space. I actually really liked this one. It was sort of just kind of me just wanting to just experiment what it would look like to put Walter in that position where he's listening to music. And for me, listening to music or listening to a certain sound, it feels like I'm floating in space, and that was the imagery that I was going for. And then that was me working on my shading a little bit. It's funny. I'm looking through this with you all, but I'm actually proud of it. It just was showing me how I was, still working through the process, and I got random Fox character there going, wow. And then that was me exploring hands, just kind of how I would draw a hand or draw hands. And then I randomly was trying to, I think I got sort of into, I forget the name of the Disney movie, Turning Red. There we go. And that was supposed to be Marsupilami, but And then of course this is supposed to be just kind of a short doodle of Sonic the Hedgehog. And then some more practicing, working on perspective and things like that and shading. Then that's another random sketch, y'all. So, yep. And a tree. So I drew a tree, so that was cool. I actually like how that came out. And then that's another character of mine. I actually really like how this character came out. I may actually digitize him because you know, how I added, you know, the darker tips to his hair. So that was kind of cool. And I did like this random thing, trying to learn perspective, and then I found myself doodling again. And then this is the many faces of Walter. So I love doing the facial expressions of my character. And so I had, you know, all these different versions of him where he's happy, anxious, sad, or grieving. You know, maybe he's snoring here in this one. A little shy up here, disoriented here, irritated, that kind of thing. Then this is another random character I created. Name's Blake. I have no idea what he's going to be used for, but I did like a whole, you know, thing with, you know, with this character, and I'm not sure what I'll use him for yet, so we'll see. And then that's some more random doodles, more researching, more just kind of practicing, rehearsing, that kind of thing. This is supposed to be one of my comics for by and by. I did this comic just to kind of, you know, see, okay, what would it feel like if I did a version of it where they accidentally set the school on fire because they were into some, you know, crazy scheme involving the science lab or something, that kind of thing. And they were like, you know, should we call the fire? Should we fight the fire ourselves? And they both were like, nah. So that's, again, another attempt at a rabbit marsupial thing later. And then I also was testing different pens and pencils that I have on this page. Some more random characters. I like how these came out. And of course, there's Walter down there. And then I had like another moment where I said, let me try to see if I can draw like an area where it looks like a maze, and see if I can make it into make it have a perspective where there's a hallway going that direction through the wall there. Then there's more Walter. And you notice in a lot of my doodles and drawings here, when I do draw Walter, I draw Walter with his hair longer. I've actually made it shorter in some of my recent works online. And then that's some more models of chibi models that I was trying to do, and when I was drawing them based off the book. And then that was another one, you know, with Walter doing a kind of pose. And I just was kind of, you know, just as I try to draw Walter over and over and over again to keep him consistent. And then this is a couple of the comics. This one I have not digitized yet. So what you're seeing right here is exclusive. You're seeing it here now instead of digital first. But otherwise I plan to digitize this soon. And so there's this one, and then there's another one that also is not digital yet, but actually plan to try to digitize it. Now this one I did digitize, you know, where Walter's like, hey, I feel like I don't fit in. Am I normal? And his friends are like, absolutely not. You're not normal. And Ace the Fox, who's another character in the comic strip, he says, normal's overrated. And I wanted to draw the sequence of them being in school. You know, they're eating lunch, they're just finishing gym class, and then they're done for the day here. And just other little things too within the comic that kind of captures a bit of their personality and who they are even in the moment. And then that's another one right here of Walter. I think I was watching Rick and Morty or something, or I was watching some cartoon, and I said, I need to do that pose. Just, you know, Walter running to see what that looks like, because I don't think I've ever done that before. And then this is another version of them together as they're just kind of hanging out. I have a digital version of it. I feel like that's far better than this, but hey, it works. All right, y'all. And that concludes my sketchbook tour. If you'd like to see more of this kind of thing, please let me know. I have some other sketchbooks as well that I'd be happy to go through. And I'm just so grateful to be able to learn and study amongst other great artists and to learn from them. But then not only that, you know, I've been drawing since 2005. And I mean, I did a lot of drawing even before that, but been drawing since 2005. And I'm still learning so much from other great artists too. And it's definitely been really cool. So I'll make some more of these in the future, but in the meantime, thank you for watching and thank you for your support. Please like and subscribe, and hope you all have a great day.